Yo, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Devrin Batiste, representing Black Diamond FX. How y'all doing, man? All right, so check it out. This video has been a long time coming, so I decided to do it. I was supposed to actually post it on today, but I got caught up with some things. My battery died in my truck. I had some other things I had to take care of. Today was my son's birthday, my youngest son. So we celebrated, and yeah, I'm doing it now, all right? So first of all, welcome to Black Diamond FX. Those of you that don't know or missed the introduction just now, once again, I am Devrin Batiste Sr, all right? So the title, who is Devrin Batiste Sr? Y'all looking at it, all right? But it's a little more than that, all right? First of all, I was born in August of 1979, New Orleans, Louisiana, Charity Hospital. All right. Yes, I am a New Orleans baby. I grew up in Vacherie, Louisiana. It was me and, my two little sisters, my two younger sisters, mom and dad, of course. From that point, I went to high school, St. James High, go Wildcats. Graduated from Louisiana Technical College and Reserve with a drafting and design degree. All right. Got married some years down the line. Me and my wife, my beautiful wife, Gabby. 6 kids now, and now we reside here in the Place. All right. So I know a lot of you people are wondering, like, how did you get started in forex? How did you get started trading? Because trading is not something that I always wanted to do. All right. Now, I remember back when I was in high school and we used to get the newspaper, the Daily Comment, and there was the section, the financial section, the money section, and they had the stocks. It would show like a bunch of stocks and the quotes and all that other numbers and stuff. And I would always look at them. Didn't know what I was looking at, right? Didn't know what I was looking at. But I would look at it, and I remember being in this, there was a trading contest. I didn't know what I was doing. I got into it. Of course, I didn't win, but I was in it. But who knew back then that was kind of like a telltale sign that I would be into trading right now? Because right now I trade, those of you that don't know, I trade stocks, I trade forex, and I trade binary options. Now, when I say I trade stocks, I don't just buy a stock, buy shares and sell shares. I trade stock options, all right? And what a stock option is, it's a contract of 100 shares of a particular stock, all right? And contract, and you get it at a premium. You get it at a discount. You get it at a discount, all right? So you don't pay, like, say for instance, I'm looking at Verizon, all right? And Verizon stocks may be $100, all right? So if I buy a contract, I don't pay a whole $100 per share because it's 100 shares. So you'd have to multiply 100 times 100, all right? It's not like that. I don't know how exactly it's calculated, but you don't pay it. You pay way, way less than that. And then when you get rid of it, you make more. You make a whole lot more, all right? So yeah, that's how I trade stock options, all right? I also trade what's called forex, all right? Forex is currency, all right? Forex stands for foreign exchange, all right? U.S. dollar, Canadian dollar. I'm talking about the majors right now because there's a whole bunch of different currencies. Most countries have their own currency, most, all right? But there are the majors like the U.S. dollar, the Canadian dollar, the Great Britain pound, the euro, Japanese yen, the Australian dollar, and the Swiss franc. All right. So that's 7. I think I'm missing one. Swiss franc. Oh, and the New Zealand dollar. All right. So that's all your majors, right? So how did I get started? That's what y'all because y'all want to know who am I and how I got started trading. So it started years ago, right? With penny stocks. One of my friends, he introduced me to penny stocks. And so a penny stock is stocks that are less than $1. All right. A lot of them less than 10 cents. The penny stocks I was trading, they were less than a penny. All right. And you will be able to buy like thousands of shares for like 2 cents or 1 cent or however. All right. So that's how I got started. And like I said, I didn't know what I was doing. I did not know what I was doing at all, right? So we got started. He didn't really teach me how to trade. He just kind of introduced me to penny stocks. And we just would kind of look at them and just, all right, you think this one gonna go up? We looking for the cheapest one. That's what we did. We had no kind of analysis, no technicals, no fundamentals, none of that. We looked at it. If it was super cheap and we could get a whole bunch of it, we did. We spent like maybe $5 to $10 and get like 100,000 shares of a certain penny stock or whatever, hoping it'll shoot up to whatever and we get rich. Of course, it never happened. The most I ever made on penny stocks was like maybe $50, right? Penny stocks, they're very highly manipulated. I didn't know that at the time. They're very highly manipulated. I left it alone. And one of my cousins introduced me to Bitcoin. Now, I remember seeing Bitcoin when it was like, I think it might have been like $12 a coin. Like it was when Bitcoin first came out, it was real cheap. I'm talking about before you could log on to a website and buy Bitcoin. The only way you could buy it was with a money or like a Western Union or a MoneyGram, something like that. That was the only way you could buy Bitcoin. And it would take you a while to actually get it. And I remember because me and my wife, we had just got married and I was sitting in our apartment on my computer. And I'm like, Bitcoin, what is this? And I looked at it, and it was like $12. And I'm like, $12 for a coin? Man, them people have lost their mind. Why would I pay $12 for a coin? Silly me. Boy, if I had only knew, I could have took not even half of my check from the job I was working, bought me some Bitcoin, and right now, I'll be sitting in my mansion right now. All right. But it's all good because I'm still sitting in my mansion, right? But yeah, I remember when Bitcoin was like real cheap. So that's what I started with, Bitcoin. Still didn't know nothing about trading, right? I mean, didn't know a thing about trading, but I was trying. I remember signing up with Binance. I think it was Binance. Now, this wasn't the same year that I found out about Bitcoin. I actually found out about Bitcoin a few years before my cousin told me about it. And then once he told me about it, I'm like, yeah, man, I remember seeing it. It was this. And he said, man, you got to try it out. My cousin Brian King. You got to try it out. You got to try it out. Trading Bitcoin, this and that. Yeah, all right, whatever, cool. Started, signed up. He told me, get your Binance. That was my first broker. My first exchange I signed up with was Binance. Binance.com. That was before excuse me. That was before all the restrictions Binance have now. Now it's like Louisiana residents, we can't even sign up for a Binance account. It's crazy, man. But it was Binance.com back then. And I would get on, I'd buy maybe like $50 worth of Bitcoin. And I traded on the exchange, live trading, you know. Still not knowing what I'm doing. I see if it's going up, all right. I'll buy it, try to buy it low, try to sell it high, you know, like trading it, you know what I'm saying? And I wasn't going nowhere with it, nowhere at all, man. So I said, man, how all these people making this money trading? I'm like, I know they gotta be like, it's more to it. I know it was more to it. I knew the possibilities. I recognized the potential, but I just didn't know exactly how to do it, right? So who it was. This lady I work with, Miss Cavern Bailey. Thank you, Miss Cavern. She was like, man, you ever heard of forex? I was like, forex, what is that? It's like you trading and it's money and you know you can make a lot of money. And that's all she had to tell me. And I joined this group called it was called I Markets Live at the time, IML, right? And not knowing anything, still green as the grass, right? Join I Markets Live, thinking I'm gonna get in and I'm gonna learn and we're gonna blow the roof off of this thing because they had this person and this person was such a good trader and we was gonna do this challenge and everybody was gonna make $1 million and we was gonna do this and do that and you know I'm all hype and excited and gung ho. It ain't work like that, y'all. It didn't work like that. What happened was, I'm gonna tell you what happened. So what happened was they set everything up. We got going. First trade, we won. They was trading live, right? The thing was they was gonna trade, and there was these so-called master traders that were gonna teach us how to trade, right? So we like, all right, cool. They master traders, man. We gonna learn how to trade like them, man. It's all good. My nose kind of shiny. I'm looking at that right there. See that? From the light. But anyway, so we all excited. First trade, we won. Boom. Everybody excited, man. We hyped up. That might have been the only trade we won, man. And I'm gonna tell you, it was hundreds of people putting up hundreds of dollars. Some people put up a couple hundred. I think I might have put 300 in there. All right, 300. They had people putting thousands of dollars in there. They had people spending their life savings, putting in there, thinking they're gonna become millionaires. Like we all did. We all thought we was gonna make all this money. They hyped us up, and it never happened, man. They lost. They got down, until next thing you know, people was mad. They just, a couple of people wanted to file a lawsuit. I'm like, man, first of all, why y'all gonna file a lawsuit when we understand trading is a risk. Trading is a risk, all right? The problem was we thought that they knew what they were talking about, and they actually didn't. So I ended up breaking off from them and starting my own group, Black Diamond FX. And, still learning from other people. I found other people to learn from. Y'all know the guy. Y'all know J Take Profits. I don't know, man. I learned so much from J Take Profits, man. That's who I initially really started learning from J Take Profits, man. And especially once I learned how to use the Fibonacci, man, he had these Fibonacci videos. Bro, I'm telling you, it just turned. That's when my trading really started to take off, right? And, I learned Fibonacci from him. Learn how to trade from him. I was in his course, in his group, in his class for a while, and I learned a lot. I really did. Man, Jay, he's a cool, down to earth, God loving, God fearing family man. He is a guy I would consider a friend. You know what I'm saying? Like if me and him would hang out, yeah, he's the type of guy that I really would hang out with. All right. But I learned a lot from him. But I still didn't, I wasn't there. I wanted to get to that level, that point. And I know what it took to get there. I know if I would have stayed, I would have got there. But at the time, being a new trader, you don't know. You don't know. You don't know who knows what, who knows, you know what I'm saying? But I was learning from him. Like I said, I was learning from him, but I still wasn't there yet. I still wanted that. You know how traders look for the Holy Grail? That's what I was looking for, the Holy Grail. There is no Holy Grail in trading. None. Zero. There is none. All right. The Holy Grail is right up here in your mind. All right. It's in your mind. It's in your discipline. It's in your practice. All right. That's where the Holy Grail is at. You got the Holy Grail. Y'all hear this? My daughter over there watching Wild Wild Wubsy, making all kind of noise. All right. But from that point, I had gotten out of IM, and I'm like, man, I know this is possible. I know, people making money doing this. I don't know how they're doing it, but they're doing it. So that was my quest. That was my mission, to figure out how these people are doing it. So I started YouTube University, of course, going to YouTube University, hitting brick walls. Tried a couple other people, hitting brick walls. Then I left IM, and I tried this other group. It was called Epic Trading, right? Well, actually, before Epic, it was before Epic. That was Tradera. I tried Tradera because there was this guy on my Facebook. He was just he was killing it. He was making the post, and he was killing it, right? So I messaged him. I was like, man, I like what you're doing. You're doing real good, And he was showing his setups. He was showing the profits he's making, and I'm like, that's what I like, and I was trying to figure out what he was doing, but I couldn't. So I messaged him, and I'm like, man, I'd like to join your group and learn from you. He's like, all right, cool, join the group, whatever. Got in Tradera, man, and the dude flipped around on me, man. We had this call, right? and he's talking. He talks real fast, so it's hard for me to. It was hard to keep up, right? And I'm trying to take notes. So once the live training was over, we in a Telegram group, and he posted a message, and it was like, yeah, if anybody needs help with something, let me know, and I gladly come on live and help you. I'm like, all right, cool. I like that. So I sent him a message. I'm like, in the group, now it's in the group. And I'm like, I said, man, in the on the live, I kind of like you was moving kind of fast, would it be possible for you to go on live and then just break it down like step by step what you do, And I told him, I said, I'm trying to get on that level, I want to see the charts the way you see them. Man, y'all know what this dude told me? Man, he told me I ain't doing that. It don't make no sense. All you got to do is go back and watch the videos. That's what he told me. I said, all right, bet. I calmly went. This was Tradera, right? I calmly went, canceled my stuff. I'm like, boy, I can't believe this. This dude said he go help you. Come in, ask him. And then he refused to help me. Man, I'm like, man. So, all right, cool. So then I go back to YouTube University, and I'm hearing things about Tradera, how people leaving and they about to fold, this and that. Coach Max was like one of the top traders in Tradera, one of the top educators in Tradera. So she was leaving and she was going to Epic. So I was like, Epic? What is Epic? Well, Epic was this new platform. So I was like, well, you know what? I'm going to go to Epic, learn from Coach Max, because she had the 20 pip in dip strategy, and everybody was talking about how good they were doing with it in Tradera. And since she was moving to Epic, I'm like, well, okay, I'm going to learn it from her. 20 pip and dip. Let's go. Got in there, 20 pip and dip. Looked at it, man. It was just it was a lot of indicators, man. And I don't trade with a lot of indicators. Like it's just too much on the screen for me. All right. I got to the point to where I could trade with no indicators, have not a single indicator on my chart. And I learned that in Epic from a lady named Elisa Morez. I started learning from her. And there was this guy named Jojo Charles. Now, Elise, she taught like order blocks, imbalance, and smart money concepts, right? Jojo was teaching market maker. I would watch both of them. They both would come on early in the morning, or at least more in the evening, Jojo early in the morning. So I would watch them, and I'm like, man, this is cool. I like this. And I started really understanding it more, and I started making a little more money, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yeah, I like this. Now, Elise did talk fast, but at least she really did help you when you asked her a question, all right? So I was liking it, man, and, the order blocks, there's no indicators on the chart, and she showed you how to find them. And I'm like, man, and then what happened? I think I ended up leaning more towards, I actually started combining the two because I started noticing how Elise and Jojo, they kind of, they market maker and smart money, they kind of complemented each other, right? And I made the comment in, I forgot if it was Elise's class or Jojo's class. So what they did was, I made a comment in their class and I told them, I'm like, y'all strategy kind of complement each other, So they did one together. They did a live training together. And man, I don't know what happened. I'm not going to say, I can only assume, and I'm not going to assume what happened. But they never did another one together. That's all I'm going to say. All right. I don't know. It just felt like it was some tension. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, man, I wish they would just see the way I'm seeing it, So I'm like, all right, man, I need to do something. I need to stick with it. I need to find a strategy and stick with it. So Jojo one I kind of had liked a bit more than smart money at the time. All right. And he does good, man. This man, we've been trading the same amount of time. This dude got so much money. I'm telling you, it's crazy. So much money from trading. It's crazy. He does good with it. Um, he said he learned it from some top level people, right? I'm like, all right, cool. So I started learning from him. And then I found it to be a little more subjective trading market maker. You know, looking at the levels and the count. I mean, I might see 2 levels, he might see 3. You know, I might see 3 levels, he might see a reset or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, like this not this. I thought I did maybe 50% with it. All right, 50% profit, 50% losses with it. So once again, I'm finding myself back at the drawing board. I'm getting frustrated. I'm thinking about just quitting trading altogether. So man, then I remember Elise, and I'm like, all right, you know what? Elise, at that time, she was no left Epic. JoJo had left Epic. They both had left Epic. They were doing their own thing. All right. At least I don't think she was teaching any classes at the time. So I was like, God, oh man, I wish she had. I was searching for her YouTube. She don't do nothing on YouTube, but I found her on Facebook and Instagram. All right, so I just was kind of see what she posts, but it wasn't really a whole lot as far as going in depth about her trading. You know, which I mean, you know, it's cool. So I started learning smart money. I'm like, there's this lady named Savannah Parsons. I found her on YouTube. And you know, she kind of reminded me of Elise, the way she break things down. But she don't talk as fast as Elise. And that's when it started clicking for real. That's when it really started clicking. All right. I'm like, all right. I see this order block here. We got this imbalance. But then she started talking about Wyckoff, and I'm like, Wyckoff just. I tried to learn Wyckoff so many. It is so confusing. Wyckoff just confused the hell out of me. I tried. I bought the book. I read the book. It's confusing, right? But there was this one aspect of Wyckoff that I did get. It's the spring and the thrust, and I noticed certain things happening around it. And the spring and the thrust, the spring and the upthrust, and I noticed certain. So that's what I started focusing on. And when I started focusing on that, I noticed my trading got better as well. I said, man, I don't need to learn the whole Wyckoff schematic. If I could just find a spring in the upthrust, I'll be good. And man, I'm telling you, I started doing it, and I was doing good. I was doing good. And like it started to taper off. I'm like, God, dog, man, what's happening? So I prayed to God. I'm like, God, I really want to be great at trading. I want to make it. What do I need to do? Is it a strategy? Is it what is it, man? What is it? I'm like, God, I need you to show me, show me the strategy that I need to be trading, or lead me to it. Something. I need something, man. That same night, I had a dream. In that dream, God showed me this strategy, right? And I started using it, all right? And it was working. And I'm like, man, I've never seen nobody use this, like nobody. So I'm on YouTube one day, and there's this guy named MHU Effects. I have no clue how I ran across this guy. Nothing but God. Nothing but God. You heard me? The same strategy that God gave to me in my dream, he traded, and when I tell you he trades it well. He trades it very well. And I was just shocked. I was sitting down like, God, dog, this is the strategy I dreamed about. I had a dream about this. Started learning from him. My strategy started going whoop, way up. Let me see. Y'all see it? Started going whoop, way up. And the only thing I did was did a little supply and demand with it. And that's the way I trade right now. And I resigned from my job of 14 years. I working at a plant for 14 years. I resigned on May 13th was officially my last day. All right. When I tell y'all I was trading like a pro, I was trading like a pro. One problem though. One problem. And it wasn't a trading problem. A couple months later, Hurricane Ida came through, collapsed the roof in my house, flooded my house. And while we were evacuated, I caught COVID. And I had COVID for almost a whole month, right? My birthday was August 22nd. Hurricane Ida hit us August 29th. I caught COVID while we were evacuated in Texas. I actually caught it the week before the storm, or the week before the storm, right? I was homesick, and I was in the bed, and I didn't know I had COVID at the time, and my wife was like, she said, they got a storm coming? I said, girl, they ain't got no storm, because I'm the one that watched the news and watched the weather, but being sick, I wasn't really on it like talking about, right? So I said, girl, they ain't got no storm coming. Go to sleep. She said, yeah, your sister just posted something about a hurricane coming right at us. I was like, what? Excuse me. Turn on the Weather Channel. I'm like, good Lord have mercy. The thing, you know how they show the projected, Pat? We right there in all of the models got it coming. I mean, directly at us, man. I'm like, oh my God. So now I'm like, I'm feeling bad. I really don't feel like driving. And I had made an appointment to get tested for COVID on a Saturday. This is the coming Saturday, right? So I was like, I said, man, we gonna be all right. There ain't nothing gonna happen. So man, as God started weighing on my spirit, he was like, y'all need to leave. Y'all need to get out of here. Right. So I told him, all right, we go evacuate, right? They ended up canceling my COVID test anyway because of the storm. We had mandatory evacuations. Man, check this out. Drove to Texas, got to Texas. We left out, that was midnight Saturday morning. Yeah, midnight Saturday morning was when we left out. Got to Texas that morning, stopped to get something to eat, and I got out my truck. And a lot of people say when they have COVID, they have like this they smell this weird smell. I smelled it, and it was like everything smelled. I can't even describe it. It was nasty. It was this nasty smell, right? We go to Waffle House to get something to eat. I'm outside the truck before I even go in the store, just puking my guts out. I'm telling my wife, like, I don't know what's wrong. I'm trying to leave. I'm sweating. My energy levels is low. I can't stop coughing. I'm like, man, trying to figure out. I didn't know, like, fam still didn't know I had COVID, right? This was the day before the hurricane actually hit. Hold on one second. Throat dry. This was the day before the hurricane actually hit us. I'm outside the truck. I lean on my truck, hurry up and get up. It's hot, because we've been driving all this time. The hood is hot. That was my Suburban. Man, I miss that truck. But Texas. I'm in the whole time we evacuated. I'm in the bathroom puking. I'm on the floor. I'm telling my wife, I'm like, you gonna have to call 911 because I don't know if I'm gonna make it. Like, that's how bad I was feeling, seriously. I drove myself to the hospital. I forgot the name of the hospital. To the hospital, sat in the parking lot, and drove back to the hotel. Because I didn't want to. If I would have got admitted, I thought about it. If I would have gotten admitted, there was no way my wife or my kids would have been able to go anywhere because I had the vehicle, right? So it didn't make sense for me to go there and get admitted. How would she even have gotten her and the kids to the hospital to even get my truck? So I'm like, it don't make no sense. I'm gonna fight it out. So the hurricane hit Sunday. We were gonna leave Monday. I told my wife, I said, you know what? Let's stay another day. And that turned into another day. We ended up leaving on Thursday. Got back home. Still had COVID. I'm driving, not COVID. Got back home, walk inside. When we driving down the street, we already knew what the deal was. I mean, we were on Facebook during the storm. People were stuck in their attics and stuff, So we know it was going to be bad. We get home. We didn't know how bad it was, though. Now, picture our house had been sitting in the heat. This was in August, sitting in the heat, closed up from Sunday to Thursday. Had flooded, right? We knew it. We knew it had flooded, but we didn't know anything else. Get home, we see our shingles all over the place. We see other people's shingles. We see the basketball goal flipped over and busted up. Like it looked like a bomb had dropped on Laplace, right? Open the garage, and there's mold from the floor to the ceiling. I mean, I was like, oh my God. Then the ceiling in the garage collapsed. Come through the door in the kitchen, it's just nasty. They got worms on the floor, all kind of bugs, stuff all over the place. Walk in the living room. Yeah, see, baby. That's my baby girl right there. The front foyer, ceiling collapsed. Kids' rooms, ceiling collapsed. Me and my wife's room, ceiling collapsed. Bathroom, I'm like, God, man. And it was just crazy. It was crazy. Nowhere to stay. No hotels open. So guess what? We slept in the truck in the driveway that night. Every night, then I got to get up, puke. And let me tell y'all, I thank God that my wife and kids never caught COVID, because we were in that truck for so long in close proximity of each other. They never caught it, like never caught it. No symptoms, nothing. That was by the grace of God that they didn't get sick. So that next day is when I actually found out I had COVID. We went all the way to Baton Rouge. Went to the hospital, Baton Rouge Hospital, right? Baton Rouge General. I was in there about 6 hours. 6 hours, COVID test. They told me I had COVID. I'm like, God, oh. So the nurse was like, what you going to do? I said, well, I can't go home because we flooded. We want to go to the shelter at the River Center. She said, y'all got to hurry up because they're about to close real soon. I said, all right. She said, make sure you let them know that you have COVID. I said, okay, thank you. So we got there. They actually had closed, but they let us in. And they I told them, I said, excuse me, but I have to let you all know that we have COVID, that I have COVID. It was like, oh, all right, thank you for letting us know. They put us, instead of putting us in the arena with everybody else, we had our own room with a bathroom, shower. The only thing we didn't have was a TV. We had water, we had food. I'm like, man, it was cool. All right, so we couldn't stay there. It was like, y'all can't stay here. We go ship y'all to a campsite in Pineville, Louisiana. I'm like, all right. First they said it was just me. I'm like, well, can my wife and kids come? So it was like, I have to find out. And I told them, if they can't come, I'm not going. If they can't come, I'm not going. I'll just have to fight it however I can. But if they can't come with me, I'm not going. So he let them know, and they were able to come. So we were there for about 2 weeks, and I started feeling better. I got this treatment, this antiviral treatment, whatever it was, anti-something treatment. Man, when I tell you 2 days later, it was like I didn't even have COVID. All I had left was the cough. I had the cough left from COVID, which, I mean, it is what it is. But I was feeling much better. So we were able to come home and start getting the stuff done on the house. Eventually, we got back in the house, right? Well, got back home anyway, because we had to stay. First, once we left the campsite, we stayed in this, FEMA had the hotels. And the last time we stayed in the FEMA hotel, it was nice. So we thinking it was going to be nice again. This time, nope. It was like a crack house, prostitute house, whatever you want to call it, a trap house. That's what it was. You got crackheads knocking on the door. You got hookers knocking on the door. You got, man, I one morning to use the bathroom. Man, they had a cockroach about this big crawling on the floor. I'm like, I stepped on it with my slipper and almost slipped. That's how big all the juice came. I'm like, oh, it was just gross, y'all. It was gross. So I called my insurance company. I'm like, man, look, y'all got to get us out of this because this is ridiculous. I'm like, I can't stay here with my wife and kids. I'm like, they got drug dealers out here. They got prostitutes out here. We cannot stay at this this little hotel. I'm like, I have loss of use. I paid for loss of use. Y'all need to either get us in a hotel or an apartment or something. So they started looking. They wanted to get us in the house, a rental house. But yeah, I got 6 kids. And it was just not happening, right? So they put us in the hotel. It was 2 rooms in Walker, Louisiana. Man, we were so comfortable. It felt so good. We can actually relax, not have to worry about people knocking on our doors, not have to worry about big old cockroaches. And it was amazing, you know. And I didn't pay for it. I wasn't paying for it out of my pocket, because if I'm paying for a service, well, God dug it, I want that service to do what it's supposed to do, right? I mean, it's only fair. So yeah, that's why I'm like, man, look, they're gonna pay for our hotel stay. So they paid for it, and then from there we stayed there a couple months until the day before Thanksgiving. And then they gave us some like a travel trailer. Put the travel trailer in our front yard, and we stayed there. Then we got another travel trailer from the state. So once the loss of use ran out, we moved into the travel trailer from the state. Eventually back into our house, and here we are. All right. Now, as far as that go, I'm not getting. That's a whole nother story. Because I might have to take some kind of action against my contractor. So I don't want to get into all that. But man, look, let me tell y'all something. Who am I? Who am I? Who is Devrin Batiste? Devrin Batiste Sr. is a survivor. I am a survivor, because guess what? I caught COVID, and I got hit by a driver under the influence in my black. When I said I miss my black Suburban, that's why I miss it. A dude high smack dead into the back of me, man. I mean, I'm at a red light. I always check my mirrors, always. This dude, I looked in the mirror, and all I see was somebody coming plowing into the back of me. I'm like, oh my God, not much. I had just put a $9,000 engine in my Suburban, man. $9,000. Just put a $9,000. I'm thinking it will last me 20 more years. At least 10 more years, you know. Man, I like my Suburban too, man. All black, roomy, had the sun. That was a big hog right there. That was a road hog. Man, I'm like, God, tore my Suburban up. When I say tore it up, he tore it up. I was like, good gracious. But I say all that to say this. Who is Devrin Batiste Sr.? Devrin is a survivor. Devrin is a citizen of God's kingdom. And let me tell you something. When you're a citizen of God's kingdom, can't nothing tear you down. Can't nothing bring you down. COVID couldn't bring me down. The hurricane couldn't bring me down. The dude that was high under the influence, he couldn't bring me down. I'm a citizen of God's kingdom. And when you're a citizen of God's kingdom, there are certain rights and privileges that you have. See, a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know that as a citizen of God's kingdom, there are a lot of citizens of God's kingdom that don't know their rights and their privileges. They don't know they have access to the power that God gave them to speak life into situations, and this power to move mountains, right? And that's where I'm at with it. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Girl, I am daddy. Hold on, let me see. Give me 1 second, y'all. Mommy. Daddy. You want to watch what? She won't watch Wawa Wubs, y'all. Should I let her watch Wawa Wubs at 1:30 in the morning? I guess so. It is. It's not like she got to wake up and go to school in the morning, right? So I'll let her watch Wawa Wubs. And guess what? That means she's going to sleep late. So I can get up a little early and do what I got to do, right? Because I know my wife going to be sleeping too. She's tired and she's not really feeling too hot. So I'm going to let her watch Wawa Wubs. But like I was saying, y'all, hold on, let me put this on right quick. Hold on 1 second. All right. But like I was saying, there are people that are citizens in God's kingdom and they don't know their rights and privileges. They don't know why. Because number one, They don't know the word. They don't know the word, man. And that's one thing that I've been doing over this past. I had no other choice. I said one of my goals was to get closer to God and develop a deeper, better, closer relationship with Him. And through that, I understand. Through doing that, I understand what God has given me access to, being a citizen of His kingdom, right? Let me tell y'all, man, my faith in God has grown so much over the past year and a half. It's crazy. It is like I feel invincible. Like I really do. Because I know what God has for me. I know the power. I know the rights. I know the privileges. I know it all. My faith, just believing and just knowing, man, just knowing. All right. But that's why I wanted to make, like, who am I? I'm a man. I'm a happily married man with 6 beautiful kids, a beautiful wife. 40. Well, I'm 43 right now. Yeah, I'm 43. I'll be 44 in August, right? And I'm just looking forward to this year, to this 2023. It's so many things that I have planned for my family, for my trading group, for my students in Black Diamond FX. It's so much things that's happening, man. With trading, with our stock options, with our binary options, man. It's just this 2023. This is going to be a very exciting year. Very exciting. Last year it was a bit rough. It was a bit rough. 2022 was a bit rough, right? I mean, it is what it is. Take the good with the bad. It was rough, but at the same time, I got stronger in 2023, right? But I just wanted to share that. That's who Devrin Batiste is. Family man. I'm a God-loving, God-fearing man, right? That's me. I'm a trader. I'm a forex trader. I trade stock options. I trade binary options. I teach all 3, right? And if you want to join, if you want to learn, $1,000. I had a holiday special. I had some people signed up. Thank you. I appreciate it. 1 second. Yeah, I'm there. See, she called me mommy. I'm daddy. What's up? Yeah, there we go. You want potato chips? Girl, it's 1:30. It's 1:41 a.m. And she want potato chips. You gonna get some tomorrow, okay? All right? Oh, she want her chips. But that's who I am. That's who Devrin Batiste is. All right? If y'all want to learn to trade, just message me. Black Diamond FX at yahoo.com. It's a one-time $1,000 fee. One-time $1,000 fee. Lifetime membership. My Black Diamond group. I add you to my Telegram group where you get access to our live tradings, sessions, education, everything. You get access to everything. To me, you know what I'm saying? Message me, our community, and we roll with it, all right? But I thank y'all for coming. Please don't forget to comment, subscribe, hit the little bell to get notifications. I know this video was a bit long, but I had some stuff I had to get off my chest, man. All right? And always remember, keep God first. If you don't know Him, please get to know Him in Jesus Christ. All right? Thank y'all for coming. I'll holler at y'all later.